right, call the meeting to order. An announcement, the meeting will be recorded. And I will open the floor for public comment. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Jane Dunshee, and I'm on your agenda for the Elections Commission meeting on Wednesday. And my intent is to talk about things that could yet be done in Warren County that would help us not get to election day with we don't have very many ballots that have fatal flaws, so to speak, but an opportunity to talk about how to bring down the number of those that make it that far, possibly. And I'd hoped to have something as informal as this, because it's audience friendly if I'm speaking with you, but instead it's part of your formal meeting as an elections group.
And you are on the agenda.
Okay. I wondered if my better first step at this point might have been, and maybe still could be, to talk with Marja Hansen, who is now a more seasoned leader of elections, and talk with her about the various options that some other counties use. To start with her, let her think things over, maybe talk with you all, and then if I needed to go on to speak. So I need your advice.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If the Board of Elections is open to it, we could give her a copy of the pre-canvassing results of the different ballots that were segregated and set aside and how they were rolled upon.
Thanks.
So you can see the final results. We had our best year ever in terms of the fewest amount of ballots set aside. We had no naked ballots this year. So this primary,
You had no rich ballots?
we had no naked ballots where
No
they
naked,
were,
okay.
yeah. So yeah, let me talk. I'm getting
That's fine.
positive from the board. So let me talk to Marja and get you a copy of the.
So we'll cancel the election board meeting then until you have a conversation with Marcia.
And I'll be glad to answer questions too.
So maybe meet with the two of you? Is that what
You can start with Marja, and if she has questions, she can pull me in. But Marja is really learning quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can see the benefits of that. Thank you. Now I'll resume under my hat of League of Women Voters person, because the other was totally separate. So.
Okay.
Unfinished business.
None.
Yeah. New business, open bids for the courthouse exterior rehab project.
This is it, right?
It's supposed to be as simple as hitting this button.
That's why you're set there.
Alright.
What is that something we use, Penman?
This is a new way of getting our bids out to many.
I see.
And we don't have to push any paper.
I get
Did we receive two?
Yeah.
it. Alright.
Did you look and see what we do with them after this? Like where they are?
Would be
Yes.
under submissions there.
Yes, under submissions.
Okay. I was more concerned about physically opening them. I didn't put a ton of thought into what do we do with them after.
And I brought a cheat sheet too. Arch masonry is the first one.
Yep. No, that's just their main page.
Mount Pleasant.
There's, it says open.
Download. You go to download. There you go. Go to open policy.
Tyler?
Is there, under the basket total, is there another,
No, that's it. Per the scope of work defined within the documents.
What's the tab instructions? Is that just the instructions?
That's just the instructions on,
Okay.
on how they fill it out.
Okay. I'm assuming there's specs.
there was supposed to be, a basket for alternates.
There was, is that?
There's one.
Schedule statement, approval insurance. Acknowledgements. I would have thought it would be in pricing section, correct?
I would have thought, okay, so next step is. Yeah, it's supposed to be an Excel sheet, so that's it.
They didn't fill it out. Oh, there it
Yeah.
It took a while.
is. So base bid 387, 759, and then the alternates.
So what's the difference between the 387 and the 333?
That, so the 387 is just that's the base bid, that's basically the repointing the masonry.
Okay.
And then we split the rest of it out. Alternate one was the stone steps, 2 is the 1980 portion, 3 is the backside, and then is the cleaning up the backside.
The base bid includes cleaning though of the whole building.
Yeah.
Is there painting the clock tower is also included in it?
Yeah.
So the 387 includes the alternates.
Does not.
It does
No.
not.
Okay.
So their total is give or take 700,000.
What are the alternate work? Number one, I understand stone concrete step repair. I'm assuming that's out front here
Correct.
And the side,
and the side.
it's both the front and the register
Okay,
side.
and then what about,
2 is the jail.
okay,
If you look at the front of the jail,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of the bricks that are starting to
Yeah.
fall. And then third is just primarily cleaning work on the back.
so then what's the 387 then?
The 387 is the brick and masonry and the painting for essentially the old portion and then the 25 edition, the 1925 edition.
Yes.
So it doesn't include the jail.
The jail is alternate 2.
Yeah, alternate 1 would be the concrete steps up front, alternate 2 would be the jail, alternate 3 would be the new addition on the backside,
Yes.
facing fifth.
I'll get these downloaded, sorted out, and sent around.
Okay. I thought that there was a spreadsheet, if you could download the Excel and it would have both of the information together.
Okay, you know where that was?
Here's my cheat sheet.
So the arch masonry only did the brick masonry and painting.
Well, at this point, unless it's in here and,
Try that, yeah, try that one. That might be combined, I hope.
no, this is just their base, they did not submit for the alternates.
Go back, one file.
And,
Did they it's not under 2, is it upload required documents here? So the mention alternates here.
Ew. Can we reach out to them and ask them if they somehow got uploaded or didn't get uploaded
The beauty
correctly?
of this is they're not supposed to be able to upload it incorrectly. The system is supposed to kick it back if they leave elements.
Does this system accommodate alternate bids?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're very good at answering questions if bidders call them, because we did have that, a few bidders call them and ask. And I've called them many times.
So what do we do? Cause it looks like one is complete and one is not.
We'll dig into it and see
Okay.
if
Yeah,
it's
we
there.
can
Maybe
reach out to them.
We got a
it's not
timeline
found.
for the alternates, but you don't have any cost that we're finding. It might
Right.
be there, but you don't know where.
Didn't come up where you would have expected it to come up, so.
Right, okay. Well, we have two bids. We know we're at, what, $700 and some thousand ish? Which is better than 1.7 million, which was what we got last time.
Isn't that what was the 700 is what you went off originally? 750 was ARPA money.
The work in progress submissions are
Those are entities that started the application and didn't finish it.
I wanna say, were you involved when we,
Yes, the
and
first
wasn't
one,
it like $1.7 million estimated?
I might have it with me.
That's all right,
The most recent OPC was 1.9.
1.9, okay. And this is, we're looking around 800,000, right?
We'll obviously need to do our homework to vet these.
Right.
That goes
Oh, yeah, sure,
without,
absolutely.
without saying.
When you sort of got your those copies.
Yeah, I'll get everything sent around this afternoon.
Okay.
On this,
Yeah.
so Mr. Lincoln, you want to add, I've articulated to her that as far as next steps, we're still waiting for some specifics on the radio tower and the jail would just be able to balance.
In 2003, we had one bidder on this project, and it was $891,100.
Is it 2003 or 2023?
2023.
Okay, you said
Yeah, you
2003.
said
Oh, sorry.
2003, I was
Sorry.
like,
2023.
Oh, that's when the major work was going on,
was it?
somewhere around that neighborhood.
Was it 800,000?
But she says 2023.
2023, yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, it's kind of in the ballpark then.
Still higher than
What's that?
still higher than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, me too.
That's always the case.
It's always.
I would imagine a lot of it though is the staging.
Yes, there will be a lot of staging, and a lot of the bidders, I know that the bottom one toured was here for the bid, the pre-bid. I'm not sure if architecture and masonry was, I didn't see them on the list. Oh, yes, they were here also. So they both toured, so they both had all the information.
Dude, who was the bidder in 2023?
Dynasty Construction?
Okay.
They started an application for this round and didn't finish it.
Correct.
Okay.
I think they got 43% maybe?
Of the way done?
Yeah, this, you can go in here and pull up
I
and
see.
see who's working on what.
Gotcha.
You can't see their numbers until you unseal them, but you can
Okay.
see who's working on it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
If Arch Masonry, split up the alternates in their time schedule in their Gantt chart, maybe they split up their alternates in their subcontractors or somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay.
We're permitted, we can go back to them to cure that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, hopefully there's some kind of indication that they meant to submitted timely, right?
Which you see that in their schedule. So, okay. All right, more excitement to come.
Moving on, projects.
Well, I mean, our big one was, the revenue bond, so we've accomplished that. Reassessment. The tail end of that, as it relates to commissioners' projects. What else?
Well, the housing study is another big one.
Housing study,
Fully funded, we'll award it on Wednesday. You'll award it on Wednesday.
okay. So that is
And
another one.
then looking to make the necessary repairs to the bike trail.
Those applications will go in, Brett's in this afternoon, maybe this afternoon, if not, they'll go in first thing tomorrow.
And we're waiting on Motorola for the, pricing on the, radio tower project.
Correct, another week or two, we should have that.
You got some open projects, people.
Yeah.
No wonder I feel like,
And we'll have an engineer on the jail roof tomorrow morning.
there we go.
We will not be putting up towers per se until probably next spring. Because the ones for this year are already committed, their work schedules are set. So we'll be ready to go. There's some other things that we could do, but the tower themselves will probably be starting in the spring.
Well, I mean, thinking through some additional projects that we, and things that we did, was also changing the timing of the, taxation.
There's duplicates.
And that has been a significant improvement.
Yes.
We need to make lists of good stuff that's happening.
Which could lead into the elimination of the TANF eventually. which would
Yes,
be an
correct.
Accomplishment.
Yep, but we only took $1.5 million and we paid it down,
We've already
correct?
paid it back, yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how much interest we paid on that, I know,
If we-
not a lot,
If we do need another TAN next year, we will have to start that cycle again
yeah.
soon.
Well, we'll know probably Q3,
You may need to do it just as more of an insurance than anything else.
Right.
yeah, I think that would be wise. Yeah, we were able to get multiple bidders on that, so that was good as well,
You went from 1 to 6.
yeah,
You worked
so,
hard on
we did,
it. You did. You worked hard on it.
so,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
my pleasure.
Thanks.
So yeah, I think we need to start writing well, we do have a project list, we just don't put the huge stuff on it. We need to do that next.
We're gonna have a CDBG project underway soon, we've got the preliminary design done, meet with the engineer now.
To you.
To you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should do a GoFundMe page for the bike trail. Why not?
I received a phone call.
You
I'm
know,
not gonna say names, but
Okay.
what happens if all 3 township supervisors resign at the same time?
We saw that happen in Sheffield.
Vacancies in the township code, like for each sort of governmental body, are controlled by, in this case, the second class township code. So in that case, I wanna speculate, if you gave me about 5 minutes, I can tell you the answer for sure. My guess is the judge might appoint,
I believe so.
yeah,
That would make sense.
I think they're already short 1, and there's 2 that are looking at resigning.
this Sheffield,
Somewhere else.
somewhere else. If you give me 5 minutes, I can give you an answer, or less.
I'm just curious that does the county, is there anything the county has to do, or
I can imagine that since it's election related.
Let's see.
Alright, I think we're done with projects?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Review upcoming meetings.
The only question I have for the new business on Wednesday's meeting, is that the Breville landfill transfers house, but this is a letter to the Forest Service.
Yeah, I think we wanna
requesting
say something that,
clarify that a
Yeah.
little bit.
cause when I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, they're transferring the,
Yeah, this is just a letter, this starts the first step
okay, got it.
in them considering transfer of the landfill to the commissioners.
Do we usually approve the audit on our commissioners?
Yeah, we signed that contract. I've seen that contract a number
That's
of
the,
times.
for them to do the 2024, that's not the audit. For ZNA,
Yeah,
that is for them to do the 2024 audit.
right. I didn't realize that we had that on a public meeting each year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Approve authorization to apply for grant. What's the resolution 3303?
We're going to sell the 2 vehicles online, they're sitting at the warehouse.
Okay.
Probably not gonna get much out of them, but we can at least get something out of them.
Okay. Hey, even $1 is just as important. I don't think I see anything else. Is there anybody coming for monthly department reports this month?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
This is interesting, if you wanna hear the whole rundown
Who's
on the vacancy issue. If there's one vacancy, the other board of supervisors can appoint a successor. If then stage 2, if for any reason the board of supervisor fails to collect or is unable to fill vacancy, then the vacancy shall be filled within 15 days by a vacancy board composed of the board of supervisors and one registered elector in the township who shall be appointed by the board of supervisors at the board's first meeting each calendar year or soon after is practical. And that appointed elector shall be the chairperson of the vacancy board. If the vacancy board, stage 3, here we go, fails to fill that position within 15 days, the remaining members of the vacancy board shall petition the Court of Common Pleas to fill the vacancy. E, if 2 or more vacancies in the office of supervisor occur on a 3-member board, or 3 or more vacancies occur on a 5-member board, the Court of Common Pleas shall fill the vacancies upon presentation of a petition signed by at least 15 registered electors of the township.
Okay. I will get back to them and let them know.
Okay.
So it all happens in their joint.
Yep. General discussion.
How many voters?
15.
I think we discussed everything generally.
Yeah,
We
we
did.
did.
Executive session, is there any reason for us to go into executive session?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Motion to adjourn.
You need to?